Hello and welcome to the Great Minds Together podcast,
where we explore neurodiversity, mental health, inclusive practice and the lived experiences that drive positive change.
Each episode we speak with inspiring young people, parents, professionals and change makers who are shaping the world of neurodiversity, SEND policies and everything in between.
Whether you're a parent, practitioner, young person or simply passionate about inclusion,
you're in the right place.
So, with that being said,
let's get into today's conversation.
Thank you for joining me both today. It's lovely to have you. My name's Michelle. I work here at Great Minds Together. I am Head of Inclusive Practice here at the organisation, and it's a joy to have you both here with me today. So I'm going to introduce you both, if that's okay. So I'm joined by two very special guests today, Cerys and Akira, who are sisters. And today we're going to be chatting about what it's like to be a neurodivergent young person and kind of, hopefully delve into what that has looked like for you over the years. Talk about, things that you might have found challenging, but also maybe think about some of the positive things about what it means to be neurodivergent. I don't know if you both know, but I'm autistic myself. So I was diagnosed autistic I keep saying the same, I think it's about 4 or 5 years ago now. We've chatted, haven't we? And I'm also ADHD. So I completely get what it feels like to be a young woman, as a neurodivergent individual. Are you both happy to kind of introduce yourselves? Maybe tell us a little bit about who you are, how old you are. Are you happy to do that?
Yeah, do you want to go first? Sure. I'm Cerys. I'm 16. I like football. I currently play for Bury. Yeah, I enjoy spending time with my family and friends and socialising.
I'm Akira. I'm 20. Currently studying bioengineering at uni. I really like music and sport. I like running. I feel like that sums me up as it.
So you're at uni at the moment, so you don't live with each other currently. I'm going to say, what's that like? Two sisters, kind of living in the same house.
Well, we're quite similar
Okay.
in the way we do things. We were having a conversation today, and we realised that we don't like being told what to do. We like having it written down, so then we can follow it instead of.
Does that help you process it if it's written down?
Yeah.
Is that what you think?
Our dad tells us to do something. Sometimes we just don't do it. So having it written down, we know that we need to do it, but we do it on our own time.
Yeah, I think sometimes being told to do things, also I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I just want to do it.
I just no.
I think it's a surefire way of not doing something, isn't it? Being told to do something, it kind of kicks in the demand avoidance and you think, I'm not doing that. And with me, there's quite a high level of procrastination as well, I think. There's always something else to do, isn't there?
Honestly, I can find anything to do. I will do probably something I've been putting off for ages.
No, literally. Start puzzle.
Exactly.
Just to avoid doing the thing that you actually need to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just like football. You're really good at football. Yeah, you are. You're really good at it.
Horn, but yeah, very good. I've been playing for 6 years now. However, I was out for a year and a half when I had to have heart surgery, which was pretty rough. But after that, I've kind of been on a catch up, so having to train extra hard and play more than everyone else just to get back up there. It's been pretty difficult. It's a lot of highs and lows.
It's something you're really passionate about. So does that kind of make it easier to kind of put the really hard work in? Because I don't know about you girls, but if I'm really passionate about something, it kind of makes it easier to do that thing in a way.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely times where I'm just I really don't want to go training. Last year was a bit different because it's just a lot of difficulties within the team. But this year, the team's really positive.
Okay.
So I really enjoy playing at Bury. It's really good.
But she's been very modest, I think.
Yeah, you're being a bit too humble.
Yeah, I play for the reserves now, hopefully, because I'm up there with the good people. I will play a few games for the first team.
Excellent.
Fingers crossed.
Wow, can't wait to see that happen. So we're here to sort of talk about neurodiversity today. Maybe think about when you were diagnosed as neurodivergent. Are you kind of happy to share a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Do you want to go first, Kira?
So I was always kind of suspected I'd have neurodivergent tendencies. I got diagnosed with ADHD in I think September of 2023.
Okay.
Just before I started uni, and I was medicated on the first day of uni, and it was it was an insane
That's a lot
experience.
to process.
I'm glad I took the medication that day because I was kind of took the whole pressure and like anxiety surrounding like just starting uni and having this whole like big change. But it was great. Like my brain felt so quiet. Like I could sort every single one of my thoughts out in my head. And I remember like in the car on the way to uni, I was like, "Whoa, Mum, my head feels so weird. It feels so empty." Yeah,
the
like,
world.
it was so great, and I was like, "Wow, this just feels great."
Yeah.
But I think looking back on like how I was in A levels and like especially just like surrounding my studies, I remember just feeling that I always was like I used to procrastinate so much and like would feel so like paralyzed in that like moment, and I was like, you know what? And it's stressing me out that I'm not doing this work, but then I don't want to do the work because I'm stressed. So like looking back and like realizing that, oh, that's quite a common trait with people who have ADHD. It makes so much sense. So yeah, I'm very glad I'm kind of got a reason for that, especially with like, again, like being autistic, because I think I got diagnosed with it in February.
Okay, so that's a relatively recent diagnosis for you, isn't it?
But I've always suspected myself, to be fair, because
That was probably the most obvious one out of the two.
Right, okay.
yeah, I've always
From your perspective as a sister?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we've always said I come off more ADHD and she comes off more autistic.
I think I've always felt very out of place, like with friends or just like against the average person. I'm like, oh, I seem a bit odd compared to them, and I'm like, oh, I'm not odd.
No, absolutely not.
I'm normal in a way.
You're normal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's quite nice having a reason for it and like a reason for behaviour that I exhibit. I find that quite nice because I'm like, at least I'm not like just like an awful person or just some. It's quite a relieving thing to know.
It's crazy though that that's kind of what we think of ourselves though. Like you've used the term, I'm not an awful person. You never were. You absolutely weren't. But that's kind of what we put on ourselves almost, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And I find that really sad.
It is sad actually.
Yeah.
Because it's just you can't help like our brains are wired just differently, but it like doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
No.
Like it's fine. I'm just being me. And can't really do much else about that.
And I think once you kind of get your diagnosis, that was certainly the case for me. Once I got my diagnosis, I could start to understand myself. And actually, it's only then that I've really been able to flourish because I kind of work out what I can and can't do and what I need. And actually, we all have so many strengths, but we don't realise it because it's hidden under all the kind of baggage and stress that we're carrying.
Exactly. I don't know if someone from like Mum's work has said like, I've maybe masked so much that it is just making me unwell. I'm just putting so much stress on how I'm interacting with people. It's just stressing me out so much that I'm just not able to cope.
Yeah.
So I think I'm letting myself feel that, and I'm like letting people around me, like my friends, who are very understanding and very grateful for them. I'm just kind of being more patient with myself, and I think it's in the end probably making me feel better, even if it doesn't at the moment. It's making me feel calmer as a person.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's something that lots of people kind of will describe, that feeling like, I think I became more autistic once I found out I'd got my autism diagnosis. But you're absolutely right. For me, and it sounds like it was similar for you, it's that unmasking element of it and actually allowing yourself to feel how you're feeling and do what you need to do. So it's not that you are becoming more autistic, it's that you're becoming more authentically who you are, that you've hidden from the world, and we get the joy of seeing that now.
So true, actually. I like that. That's a great outlook.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit kind of further down the line than you two with this. And I think for you girls, maybe there aren't those kind of autistic or neurodivergent women necessarily to kind of have those conversations with, or
it's hard like speaking to people who don't fully understand it either, because I'm like, this behaviour probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people. Yeah. It's really frustrating because like I don't feel like I'm seen or listened to, and like it just feels like I'm making excuses for things, but I'm not. But I'm just actually struggling in this aspect. Please, like, I guess accommodate for me.
Yeah. And that fear of being misunderstood.
Exactly. It's so frustrating. But I don't expect people to understand. But like, just for them to know, like, this is how I operate.
Yeah.
I guess please respect that.
Yeah.
But
that's a nice way of looking at that.
Yeah, work in progress, but
we're all that. What about you, Cerys? Are you happy to kind of share your story a bit for us?
Well, I've always been quite a fidgety child. We found this video the other day actually, and it was of me. I was about 8, and I was in the paddling pool with my sister, and I grabbed onto her because, well, my mum told me to do something, and then I was like trying to get Isla to go down the slide. Isla's my little sister, by the way.
Okay.
Trying to get her to go down the slide. My dad said, "Stop pulling her." My mum gave me another instruction. I start skipping around and just forget what they said. So
Multiple instructions are never good.
yeah. So my dad showed me that the other day and was like, "Well, we always knew." So I've kind of always like portrayed as a very like, chaotic child.
Okay.
But we never did anything until after I had my heart problem, because teachers then started saying, "Oh, she's a bit distracted, like she's not concentrating very well." And then we went to this private doctor because I was having some pretty bad mental health issues, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you probably have ADHD." So then we got it like seconded at CAMS.
Okay.
And they were like, they did the test and we had to do it twice because we messed it up the first time. But I was, obviously diagnosed. It was in like 2023, I think.
Okay.
Start of 2023. And then I was put on medication, and I did not have the same experience as Akira.
What was it like for you?
I did not like it.
Did you not?
I have been on like 5 different ADHD medications because none of them worked.
Okay.
Sometimes they're too strong and we can never get the balance right. Sometimes nothing is enough.
Okay.
And it's kind of just like, because she's doing so well. Like when she said like her head was clear.
Could you imagine what that feels like?
No, I actually don't know, because my brain is going a million miles an hour and there's always something and then there's something else. So I can't imagine what that feels like. Because when I went on it, it was like I was a zombie. I felt awful. I felt like I couldn't do anything.
Right. Okay.
Like instead of doing too many things, I couldn't do anything. It was just like someone drained me of all my energy. I did not like it. So I figured it was better without medication than with. Like,
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, isn't it? Like what works for one person doesn't always work for another.
Yeah.
And I think that's neurodiversity, that's autism, that's ADHD. It's like we are all uniquely who we are, just because, yes, we are autistic or we have this kind of diagnosis.
Yeah.
You know, what works for one doesn't always work for others. And you've both proved that. I mean, I am on the fence with ADHD meds. I haven't decided to go down that route. I haven't ruled it out. So it's really interesting to hear your both perspectives, that, you know, it's been really successful one and not so much for another. And I think that's the experience for lots of neurodivergent people, isn't it?
I just feel like the difference wasn't like great enough for me to think it was worth it.
I'm interested to hear a little bit about school and kind of what that looked like for both of you. How I kind of am taking a deep breath now with this, because lots of us struggle through school when we are, you know, neurodivergent, particularly undiagnosed neurodivergent. You're happy to tell us a little bit about what school life was like for you and how you think your neurodiversity kind of shaped your experiences?
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure. I hyper focus on like some things like music, for example. Like some artists I just can listen to forever. But with school, it's kind of given me a photographic memory.
Okay.
So I'm very naturally smart. So I don't try. I don't work as hard. Like she works so hard.
Okay.
And I just don't have that. I don't know, because I just get distracted too easily.
Okay.
I was trying to revise for my GCSEs, and I do an hour or two, and I just get caught up doing something else. It might be something absolutely random, but I could never get a good like set hours, so I just did it as much as I could in school. But I've always done really well in exams, but school wasn't like the best place. I've gone through a lot at that school, obviously, with my heart. Like bullies, people, like not very nice people.
Yeah.
I'm like a very nice person. Like in year 7, I shaved my head for this girl that had cancer, and I only knew her for 2 weeks. So I've always like put other people before myself, and I think people like take advantage of that a lot.
Yeah.
And I like to forgive people because I feel like it's easier forgiving them than holding a grudge. So I've gone through school kind of just like, yeah, it's fine, everything's fine. But like, I'm kind of not. It wasn't the nicest place, but all the teachers, they were so supportive. And there was plans put in place when they found out about my diagnosis.
Okay.
And they were really helpful. Like, I have a 5-minute learning break pass where I can step out the classroom if I'm getting overwhelmed.
Okay.
Which was really helpful because that school like caused me a lot of anxiety.
Right. So that was almost a bit of a lifeline for you, being able to.
Yeah, it was really good. But apart from that, my school was really good.
It's lovely to hear that you've had a positive experience of school.
all the teachers was just really supportive.
So would you say it was more the friendships then that was the challenge?
I like
school?
the teachers were good. You just learn who are your actual friends and who aren't, like who will stick by you. I have a quite close-knit friendship group.
Okay.
But like obviously I went through a lot, so people would leave when it's getting hard, and they're like, because they don't want to deal with it or whatever. And it got really hard because I just felt like I had no one because everyone just kept leaving.
Yeah.
So that was really
that's hard.
Yeah, it was really tough.
Yeah.
But you find the people that will stick by you, and it's good.
Yeah.
You have to just kind of think and just say, these people wouldn't be around you and choose to be around you if they don't like you.
You're wise.
You're both very wise. What about you, Akira? What was your kind of experience like?
I mean, to be honest, I think it's a complete opposite of Kerry's.
Okay.
Like, she's saying now she's naturally smart. I'm not. I think I have had to work so hard to understand things. If a teacher teaches you something, I have to go over it like a million times to understand what they're talking about. So I've always been quite driven in that aspect where, like, some would call it overkill with the amount that I work on my studies or revise for exams. Like, I think for my university exams, I made 500 flashcards this year, but that's just how I've always worked. I've had to work so hard to try and at least like scrape good grades, which was quite difficult. With friendships, I've always had quite a close-knit group as well, but I've been quite naive in the past. Like, people have, I think, taken advantage of, like, they usually do it to me and Karis, take advantage of good nature and just think they can, like, exploit it in that kind of way. I hate to use the word, but, like, people can just be cruel and not nice. As I've grown up, I've found, like, I've got much better friends and friends who are much more like-minded like me, so I keep on trying to remind Karis that there are good people out there who will respect you and, like, actually give you the love that you deserve.
Yeah.
Which is very, very important. There's always been a lot of pressure as well with school. I don't know if it's always been rooted from me. I expect myself to do really well.
I'm going to say, is that pressure come from you, do you think?
I think so. I like to try and divert the blame, but at the end of the day, it is all just me. Like, I expect myself to be the best because I feel like that's what people expect of me when they don't. They just expect me to try my best. In my head, I've got a reputation of doing well. Like, teachers saying, oh, like, we'd love to have a classroom of Akira's, and I'm like, oh, so they think that I am, like, I think I fixate on, like, words that they say, and I'm like, that is what I'm going to roll with, which is quite annoying. I kind of wish I didn't do that. I wish I could be more flexible with people's words, but it's just who I am, really. I'm trying to be more chill as I'm growing up, but it's not really working.
I mean, you've done incredibly well going off to uni. That must have been quite a change for you, kind of, you know, moving out of the house and going to uni. And how did you find that?
Enough, like, actually moving out was a much, like, smoother transition than I thought it would be, but I kind of did go from, like, 0 to 100, like, with communication. Like, I used to speak to my parents all the time at home, but as soon as I moved out, there was days where I would just not speak to them at all. And, like, I think managing my time, because there was so much going on at uni, especially, like, as a fresher. I don't know how long it was until, like, I went home. Like, I think I'm still kind of struggling with it now, like, especially coming back home from uni, because I get so used to, like, living a certain way that now I'm in a totally different environment or back to where I was. I'm like, I feel like I'm under a constant microscope when I'm not.
It's a huge transition, isn't it? Though?
Yeah,
From one
change
to
is
the
horrible in my head,
Yeah.
but it's inevitable. I need to kind of get my head around that. I think you said yesterday, change is the only constant in your life,
Say that.
which was
That's
so
very
crazy.
wise.
It's
It's true. It's the one thing that we often don't have any control over. You know, there is this myth that, you know, autistic people can't cope with change, and it's not that we can't cope with change. We'd rather things not change.
Yeah.
You know, we can cope with change.
Yeah.
She says the royal we. But, we just need a bit more time and processing and information and, a bit of a heads up about the change.
And I think also because, like, a lot of my friends next year won't be in uni because they're going off and doing, like, a placement year.
Yeah.
So, like, that is playing on my mind that, like, my year won't be the same because I won't have a lot of my friends who I've grown very, very close to. So I'm finding that difficult. And then moving back home and, like, kind of living under other people's time and not my own time.
Yeah.
I'm finding that really difficult and explaining that, like, I need either people to, like, bear with me a bit, or if I'm asked to do something and the plan changes, I get, like, really, like, heightened. I think it doesn't help that I've already got a lot playing on my mind with, like, all of the other change that's happening around me. But it's really frustrating because I don't want to, like, feel this overwhelmed and stressed when I'm meant to be, like, on my summer holidays.
The summer holidays, I think, can often be a challenge for neurodivergent young people, particularly because your routine's just completely out of sync, isn't it?
Exactly.
And then there's so much kind of pressure to socialise and to, be out doing things with your friends, which, as much I don't know what your experience is of this, but I love socialising and being with people, but there's a price that I pay for that. In terms of, social hangover and burnout and that kind of thing. Is that something you've experienced?
Yeah.
Social battery's gone.
Yeah.
It's literally like someone's unplugged you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like sometimes I felt like there's like an obligation to hang out with people, or else like they're gonna perceive me as being rude if I want to just go into my room. But like I got to a point at the end of uni where I was like trying to please so many people, and I was talking to my dad and he was like, you need to prioritize yourself, because I was like, I need to like sit down and decompress and just spend a night to myself, because I did that like once and I felt so much better for it. And I've just realized you need to prioritize yourself.
You do, absolutely. But it's setting those boundaries, isn't it, though? It's really difficult sometimes.
It's really hard.
Is that something you've experienced, that kind of social thing?
Yeah. If I'm going out with someone, I need a few days to process it, because like if they ask me to go out on the day, I'd be like, oh, what's going on?
Yeah.
The day after is usually the hardest, because like you've had that day and you're usually on a high, like at the end of the day, and then the day after you just can't do anything because all of your energy was used on the day before trying to like be happy and like
and be engaging and
make everyone else think like you want to be there, and sometimes you're just like kind of want to go home, just chill.
If you're in a bad mood, you feel bad because then people are like, oh, but you've just spent all of your time with your friends. You're like, well, it's not about that with being in a mood. It's just you're just really tired and exhausted about it, and that's why
some people don't understand that.
Exactly.
So sometimes it's processing what happened as well. So there's the kind of the exhaustion, but the processing of it, the processing the conversations, the overthinking the conversations. Why did that person say that? Oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
Everything back in your head.
And so there's all that like mental processing of what happened that we kind of, as well as the, the sensory stuff that we were sort of processing, because generally when we're in social situations, we are kind of in spaces, shall we say, that aren't necessarily designed for, our own very specific sensory needs, I suppose.
So I keep my loops with me.
Do
you? Tell me what they are then. So some sort of strategies that have worked for you and things that you kind of couldn't go without, or things that have worked. So tell me a little bit about that then. What are they?
They're like these like earbuds, and they don't block out all the noise, but they block out like the loud noises. So you can still like have conversations, but it like dulls everything down.
So quite good for social situations.
And school. They were great in school.
And was school happy to let you use them? Brilliant.
Yeah, they were great. I literally could not live without them.
If someone's speaking in like a shrill voice, it like removes that.
Sometimes when you sat at a dinner table and there's lots of people and lots of clattering and knives and forks and talking, there is a certain pitch that things get to, but it's just painful. Is there anything else that you would kind of go, do you know what, this is what's really worked for me?
Noise cancelling headphones.
The new AirPods, they're like really good because they block everything out. Like you can't hear a thing. Like, I use them on the tram because the tram is awful.
Yeah.
But they're really good because they just make you feel like so relaxed.
Make you feel like you're floating, or like almost it kind of feels a bit the same as when I take my ADHD meds, because it's like it's not removing all the noise, but it's just like removing the back. It's like noise here, and I'm just like, oh, it's just so nice. And just I live in my headphones, like I have to wear them at least like most of the day.
I use music quite a lot. So like if I have to focus, I have like certain artists that I will put on to kind of, help me get in a focus mood. And it just shuts the world around me out.
Yeah.
So that's something I use. But I might look into that. Can I make a suggestion just from pure observation that a strategy that I've noticed that you both use?
Fidget toys.
Fidget toys.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have the opportunity to use those in school? Did you feel like you could use them in school?
They were banned in my school.
I
What?
never allowed them.
Yeah. I was allowed like one of these,
Okay.
but that's about it because they were too distracting, even though.
See, I would argue, I mean, you both sat and been able to chat, you can multitask and fidget at the same time.
To be fair, I think I've always had weird imposter syndrome surrounding like my diagnoses. So I think that I am so fine and like I don't have extra needs.
Right.
So I'm just like, no, I don't need any of this. And then I see myself in situations like this. And I'm like, maybe I do a little bit, but yeah, I didn't have anything.
For me, for example, like we have these in our organisation, they're everywhere and we actively encourage staff to use them. But I think, I'm not sure everywhere is like that. And I think, it's only now that I'm kind of like, I will stand up and kind of deliver training and be, playing with a fidget at the same time. But I'm comfortable in my own skin with my own diagnosis and my own needs now to be able to do that. But I could imagine it's a barrier because I know for my son, for example, he didn't want to use fidget because he didn't want to look different to everyone else in the class. Do you think that could be a barrier for some young people to kind of be able to use the strategies that actually would really help them in school?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely with like other students, like they'll be like, oh, I want to use it, I want to do this, I want to do that. I think they'll find it difficult because they'll say, oh, everyone else wants to do it, so
right. So then they just blanket that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's also like a stigma around it, I think, because I think people will treat you differently if they see you with a fidget toy, and I feel like they'll kind of label you with some just not like negative connotations surrounding it. So I think that's kind of off-putting when it just shouldn't be, because people process like situations or like even in learning environments, like again, like we're able to do this and it's like not distracting. One thing that we just do to make ourselves feel better, and that's fine.
And that's why conversations like this are really important, because young people hearing you say that is really powerful. What would you say your strengths are? And, kind of what are you proud about in terms of your neurodiversity?
I'd say, especially in like my work, because I work at ACE, I've been able to like relate to the kids a lot more and like work out like what they need and like how they're feeling, because I've probably felt what they're feeling before.
Tell us a little bit about ACE. So what do you do there?
We work with like kids with additional needs. Okay. So most of them either have autism or ADHD, and they come in on a Saturday from 9 to 1, and we just have a lot of fun together, and we just play games and stuff and just like take their mind off all the stress of the outside world and everything, because they're all like age 10 usually. And it's a really confusing age because there's so many changes in your life and there's so many things that can go differently to what you'd expect. So it just like takes their mind off of everything, and it's really good.
What a wonderful thing for you to do, and also what a wonderful thing for them to see you flourishing and being there helping them. It's incredible. So what else are you amazing at?
I think it's helped my football because I'm very like chaotic and bouncy, so it helps.
Energy.
Yeah, I'm just like everywhere. So it helps with that, and my reading of the game's really good, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I think it might, because I think I see things a bit differently to other people, so I think ahead.
Can you see the patterns?
Yeah, so I'll know where the next pass is going, or I know where it should go.
That's like a superpower. That's like you can see into the future.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So I'll read the ball really well, and I can like intercept passes and stuff, which is really useful. And like I can tell by their body language, like I can like see changes like really small in people, which doesn't work in social situations, because if someone changes like a little bit, I'll be like, oh, what have I done?
Yeah, which
is not helpful.
But rejection sensitivity. Yeah. What have I said? What have I done? Why do they hate me?
Yeah, actually. But in football, it's really good because if someone's like turns their body in a certain way, or like looks up, or does
you
something,
can predict what their next move is.
Because like
which makes you a genius.
Exactly. I'm so smart.
So smart.
So lots of strengths for your neurodiversity then, which you are, able to, make the most of and flourish, which is brilliant.
So good.
What about you, Akira?
I'd say I quite like how passionate it makes me around like certain things. I'd say I'm quite an emotional person. I feel quite deeply. Obviously, it's like a blessing and a curse, but I kind of take the mostly like the positives because
Yeah.
I usually like if I like something, like I really like it,
Yes.
and like
Yeah.
it's quite nice in that sense. Like obviously, it's probably quite annoying for like my mum and dad, where that's like the only thing I'll ever speak about. But like it's great for me because I love it.
Yeah.
And I think I like how much like I care for people. Like I'll know
Yeah.
so much about a person, and I try like
Yeah.
I'm quite a giving person in that sense. Like I want to make sure that I'm giving people loads of love
Yeah.
or like showing them how much I care about them. No.
Do you like that feeling of kind of getting lost in something you're really passionate about?
Yeah, like I love like immersing myself in anything that I love. Let's say it's like music, like any like a lot of bands, mainly like Blur.
I think you've told when we spoke, you've told me about this. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's probably been my longest one, but like
Okay.
I think I remember like just thinking back to like when I first started like listening or like looking at all the like videos or whatever, or like getting CDs, like it brings me so much like happiness. I know how like probably weird that sounds, but
I don't think it's weird, and
No,
actually, I actually feel sorry for people
Yeah.
that they don't get to experience the world in the rich, vibrant colour and deep passion and care and love that, you know, I see joy in the most mundane, silly things, and I think, why can other people not see this?
Exactly.
And actually, I used to think that was a problem, and I used to think, God, I'm, you know, a bit bonkers. But actually, I see it now as something that I think, I wish you could see what I'm seeing and feel what I'm feeling. And actually, I feel sorry for you that you can't, because
Yeah.
we experience the world in a completely different, like full-on hyper, like multicolored way.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it's a joy, and I am it's been a joy to speak to you both today, because it took me a long time to get to that place. But you've got the rest of your lives ahead of you to just experience the world in the most amazing way. And I think you're both incredible young women, and it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. It really has. I've really enjoyed it, and I hope that, you know, lots of people sat listening to this today, I've learned so much about, you know, autism and ADHD and neurodiversity, but also I think just take home what incredible young women you are, and I can't wait to see where your futures take you. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's Great Minds Together podcast.
If you found this conversation valuable, please share it with others.
And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
You can learn more about our work and resources at greatmindstogether.co.uk.
And follow us on social media for regular updates.
Until next time, keep celebrating difference and driving inclusion.